Hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm Madhurima Sappatti. I'm a burnout soul coach from India, a writer and a podcaster. Thank you, Gladys, for giving me this opportunity to share my journey with you guys. And thank you for everyone who's present here listening to this. And I hope that my journey creates some sort of impact in your personal life. So let's go. Awesome. Let's go. The very first question. This is a pretty interesting question, to be completely honest, and very, very intellectual and insightful of a question. But personally, my journey started because of fan fictions. That's right. I started writing because of fan fictions. Like, to be honest, I have to give credit to my family. My dad was a writer and my mom loves literature. So, right from the very beginning of our childhood, we had a lot of, how do you say it? Lot of literature and writer influences right from the very beginning of our journey as kids. Um, uh, but like I did not start writing until my second year of high school when I was obsessed with this gay couple from the Percy Jackson series. If you know, you know. And that's what made me start writing. That's what made me want to share these amazing stories that suddenly erupted in my mind. And I was like, I have to share this. And that's how it all started for me personally. However, um, I do have to say that those stories created a lot of impact and gave way for me to write the stories that I am currently working on. Um, the stories that I was writing as fan fictions were extremely childish, cliched, romantic, you name it. It was a dreamland. It was a fantasy. Um, but the stories that I write now delve a lot into creating awareness of any sort. The book that I already published called "You Are My Dream" is a fictional story, um, and it is all about creating awareness for mental health, for depression and anxiety and panic attacks and PTSD and all these things, the small, small things that people tend to ignore or used to ignore. At least I'm grateful that people are becoming much more aware of it right now. But these were concepts and thoughts that were ignored long ago. And so that was what that book was about relationships and friendships and a little bit of serious stuff as well. The book that I'm currently working on, called Living My Truths, is a non fictional book. It's a memoir in a way, and it's a very difficult book to write on. Yeah, because personally, it's something that is very close to me. Obviously, it's a memoir. It's very close to me, and it is it is a way for me to expose some of the truths that I often hide from, the secrets that I hide from. And the entire notion of that book is to not only help other people learn from my mistakes and know where I come from, but also it is a reminder for me. Every piece of content that I create, especially when I'm writing something, is a reminder for me to remember. As silly as it sounds, it's a reminder for me to remember, mostly because there are patterns. And I accept that I have patterns that I slip into every time I'm faced with a huge distraction or problem or something like that. And I just want to run the opposite direction. That book that I'm currently writing is a reminder for me to know where I am, where I came from, and where I wish to go. So yeah, it's a very difficult book to work on, to be completely honest, and I don't want to work on it, but I know I need to work on it. um it's a very personal story, but I lost my best friend to COVID, and it was such a huge shock for me because I had no idea that she was going through it. So when I did get to know that, I realized that there is no point in living half a life. in living a life masked by our emotions and our situations. And it was very difficult, but I needed to know and I needed to remember that there is no point in not living my truths and living a half life masked by our insecurities and our boundaries and all the things that prevents us from being authentic in the world because we are scared of being judged when any second you can die. Yeah, that was a pretty big realization, and that is what is pushing me to write that book, just so that I can remember not to slip into that and live my authentic life and live my truths. Sorry, I should have kept a trigger warning before this, but I did not expect it to go so deep. So anyways, uh the second question, the author's journey. It has changed my life a lot, mostly because I've become more observant. I've become more observant of where I am and where I have to be. And um, I've become more aware, observant and aware. That's what I'm going to share with you, because I personally get inspiration from nature. So when I'm on a walk and the sunlight hits the leaves a certain way and the wind blows through like a still pond and the water moves on it, all of these things, one at a time, is just observations that I collect and keep in my mind that I can use for whenever I'm creating a journey, I'm sorry, whenever I'm creating a story. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that has happened to me. I was not this observant and aware of myself, but the nature is my muse. So you have to do what you have to do. Um, how do you overcome the obstacles? So I was actually extremely burnt out at one point of time in my journey. As a content writer, not necessarily as an author. I used to write for my own hobby, and I was like, oh, might as well make this my profession and earn some money off of it. And it did not go as I planned, not because I was not a good writer, but because of the fact that I was working in an extremely toxic environment. And it led to a burnout, and that was pretty bad. Ugh. Just thinking about it gives me shivers. Like, if we think writer's block is difficult, it's like us versus the universe, that kind of a comparison. Writer's block multiplied 10, 15 times is what a burnout is, and it's bad. I overcome the obstacles set in my way in a lot of different ways. To be completely honest, depends on what the obstacle is. Because I'm becoming more aware of my own journey as a writer, I know what are some of the things that some of the signs that causes burnouts for me, and if I see any of them happening, I take immediate action and get rid of it. Not get rid of burnout, but like work on making myself better so that I don't get burnt out. Yeah. I know that's not the answer you were looking for, but like I I feel like everyone has different obstacles. So, and everyone's solution is different. So I think it depends on every single person. Me personally, I love to rest. I love to get inspired by the things that inspire me. I watch a lot of movies and TV shows and listen to songs and read books. So I take inspiration from other creatives, and that allows me to overcome the obstacles that hinder hinder me from achieving my goals. Huh. How would you advise someone who is hesitating on starting their author's journey because they're afraid of the obstacles along the way? Um, let me say it like this. You are going to face obstacles in every part of your journey, irrespective of whether you want to be an author or not. And just because you're afraid of facing those obstacles, and I know those obstacles are scary. Oh my God, they're extremely scary. Let me be honest with you. People are constantly judging you and judging the way you write stuff, and someone's going to be a grammar Nazi and correct that one mistake you made in your manuscript and all that jazz. But problems exists everywhere, irrespective of where you are. But writing is a beautiful journey, especially if you are here and if you are listening to this interview, you are already contemplating to be a writer. So my suggestion would be to just start writing. Don't give a damn about what others think, and just start, because it's a beautiful journey, and it's not about how many people hate you. It's about how many people are impacted by you, because at the end of the day, even if one person is impacted by what you have written, that is worth it. I kid you not, that is genuinely worth it. If even one person reaches out to you and is like, hey, thank you so much for writing that. It made a difference in my life. It made me hit pause and think about something that I was personally struggling with. And I did not know it, but your words were exactly the words that I needed to hear at that particular moment of time. Oh, goosebumps. And you're going to get that a lot once you start writing and publishing stuff. So just get out there and start writing and take it one step at a time. Personally, I feel like all of us are kind of, because we are scared of the obstacles, we try to be as perfect as possible. But perfectionism is an illusion. I'll say that. Perfectionism is an illusion, mostly because of the fact that, okay, let me give you an example. I started writing fan fictions in the second year of my high school. If I go back to it and look at it now, I'm gonna cringe, because I'm like, did I really have to write that? Oh God, that is so embarrassing. Why did I write this? Why did anyone allow me to publish this? But the thing is, it was really amazing when I started writing that then, because the journey that I took along the way allowed me to be here right now and write the stories that I'm writing right now. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't start writing then. Imagine starting to write like that now in this part of my journey. I mean, it will just take me a lot longer to reach where I want to reach. Are you getting that? Like 11 years ago versus me, if I did not write then and if I started writing like that now, it will take me another 11 years to reach the place that I want to reach. So don't keep contemplating, don't keep postponing. Just start. Progress over perfection, because perfectionism is a very weird concept. Heck, if I look back and read something that I wrote an hour ago, I'll be like, there are so many mistakes. What are people gonna think? But perfectionism is an illusion. You're always going to contemplate and you're always going to be your worst critic. So just start writing and figure things out along the way. Yeah. And because I'm saying this because as a writer, if you started working on your manuscript right now, I have been there a lot of times. And if you have been there, seriously reach out to me and say yes. Whenever you do, whenever you watch this interview, mostly because I am the person who writes one chapter of my book, doesn't write for a pretty long time, goes back to look at that one chapter of my book, starts editing it, and does not write anything else after that. I was that person. Still am sometimes. I have that tendency to edit, make sure that everything is perfect, but you're going to be in that loop for a pretty long time. Just stop, pour it all out, write everything. Just start writing, get into the zone, write everything, and then you can sit and edit to your heart's content. My one piece of advice that I will give to you any day is start small, start, and then progress over perfection. Just start writing. Ooh, a quick challenge for you. This question's good. Okay, so personally, I want you to start with creating a good mindset. I'm going to share a link with Gladys so that you can add it to this interview. And I have this masterclass on how you can start any creative project with a positive mindset. And that is really important, because when you start writing, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to rock this. But then once you start writing, it takes a dip and you just are like, oh, I don't want to write anymore. So I'm going to share that so that you can have like a pretty good mindset throughout your journey. Plan things out, and don't overwhelm and overburden yourself. Make sure that you allocate, I allocate 1 hour of my time every single day to write, to focus on writing. And I don't do it a lot. I don't write like 10 hours a day because I have other things to do as well. But if you are solely focusing on writing, allocate your times. Don't overwhelm yourself with writing throughout the day because you're going to burn out. Make sure that you take proper breaks. Make sure that you have a plan, especially if you're writing fiction. Writing fictional books is much more easier than writing non-fictional books. I'll tell that to you right now, because fiction, you can plan it out. Non-fiction is overwhelming, emotional. You don't want to write it at all, but it is worthwhile. So if you are an aspiring author, plan things out. Even if you are writing non-fiction, plan out, create a table of content. That's something that I usually do. I create a table of content if I'm writing a non-fictional book, and if I'm writing a fictional book, I have an entire plan as to how the plot is going to go. Almost 50% of the time I check the plot, and I, like, while I'm writing, I get better ideas and I work on that. But having something to fall back on is extremely important. So you can have like a basic structure and then you can work on it. That would be my biggest suggestion. Do a lot of research, check out Tumblr. That's an amazing site for writers and creatives of all sorts. Check it out. They, like, creatives there are really, really helpful, and they will help you. There are a lot of prompts. There are a lot of research topics. People talk a lot about different sorts of genres. So it's pretty amazing. You can definitely check it out. Or check out any different site, YouTube. The world is your oyster. You can check out anything anywhere right now. But Tumblr is a good resource because I personally use it. Developing your story. I think that's what I think that you need to have a basic structure and then you can work on it. And as you're writing, sometimes just remember to be flexible, because sometimes the plot demands something, you want to write something else, and the story is kind of a mess. So make sure to take breaks and look at where exactly the plot needs to go, what exactly the writers want, the characters want you to write, and go with the flow. Don't restrict yourself that, oh my god, this was the plot that I made and the story is progressing in a way that chucks the entirety of the plot out of the window. Check it out. Seriously, go crazy. No one cares. I'll tell this to you. No one cares. People want to see your end result, right? You can be as crazy as you want from the very beginning till the start. I mean, till the end of the writing part of the manuscript, right? Go completely crazy and write to your heart's content. Create different variations. Ask people for advice. Ask them, hey, you are my ideal audience. Would this be something that you would want to read or listen to, or stuff like that? But I will say, okay, my advice is pretty here and there, to be honest, because I'm constantly balancing things and finding new things out. But my suggestion would be to not go too deep into the internet world, because when you hear a lot of advices and suggestions, you will get confused and you will end up writing a story that doesn't feel like you. So just write something that feels like you, and then figure it out along the way. Nothing is perfect. Like I said, nothing is perfect. So figure it out along the way. You're amazing. Your words matter. Writing what you are writing right now is going to create the impact that you want to create in the world, no matter what impact you're looking at. So just go out there and start writing. And to be where I am right now, write. Progress over perfection. Write every single day. Write as many times as possible. Get it out there. Show it to the world. And learn. Research, learn, read, get inspired. Repeat the process. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm actually working on getting a course out on how you can write blog articles. I know it's not related to writing this, but it's going to be a Skillshare course, so you can definitely check that out. It does have like a basic structure on how you can write blog articles, but a proper resource would be to just reach out to me on social media at Madhurima, that is MADHURIMA _ burnout, BURNOUT SOULCACH. Burnout Soul Coach. Reach out to me there. I'm also going to send a link to Gladys for the masterclass that I suggested. It's going to be pretty awesome. I would love to connect with you and help you out in your journey. Super excited. Go start writing. I believe in you. Let's go. Thank you so much for listening to me talk. Thank you. I appreciate it.